So in my decades of sitting on and advising boards, I've seen the good, bad and ugly in management presentation to boards. And of course we want management to present well, helps the board in its decision making, also makes management look good. So what are some of the things management should think about when they're presenting to the boards? And I think the first thing is be well prepared. That almost goes without saying, doesn't it? And indeed practicing what you're going to present to the board is useful, but it's more than that. It's thinking about where does your paper sit in the context of the particular issue that you're talking about? Where does your paper sit in the context of the agenda for the day? How much time have you got? And indeed, what would you do if that time was cut short? Because invariably that will happen. Think also about what the role of the board is. Understand the context of the board. So boards are there to be strategic and to make decisions, and that's the level at which any paper or report should be to the board. If you include operational detail, you can be rest assured the board's going to ask operational questions. And also think about the fact that directors come in and out of the boardroom on an infrequent basis. So you might have to give them a bit more background information to keep the flow of information right on a particular issue, and avoid acronyms and technical terms as much as possible. It's also key to think about what your ask of the board is. Do you want the board to make a decision? Do you want them to provide direction? Do you want them to have a discussion? Do you want their input because of their rich skills and experience on a particular issue? And then typically in organisations, there'll be some sort of format or some sort of briefing paper template you'll be asked to complete. And try to use that as much as possible, because that should have useful headings in it in terms of background, issues, options analysis, financial considerations, risk considerations, strategic alignment, etc. If you're coming in with a slide deck, short, sharp, clear, compelling, and data with analysis going with it. I often hear from boards that they want management to ask the so what, not just here's the data, but what does it mean? And be prepared for constructive challenge from the board. Really the role of a director is to ask questions courageously and constructively. So be prepared for that. Think about the Q&A that you might get, and don't respond defensively. It's all about having a good discussion about an issue. And finally, seek feedback. Make sure that you're clear about what the conclusions are that you've taken away from the discussion, what your actions are, and what it is that you might do differently next time. And indeed, after the board meeting, you might ask a director what they thought of your presentation, or your peer executive managers might help you out in that regard too. So hopefully there's some useful food for thought there if you're an executive and you're asked to present to the board.